Alright, hey everybody, this is GoGo7. Today I'm just going to go over the process of editing a time trial video. I'm not sure if I'm going to publish this video. If I'm not, then congratulations on seeing this unpublished video. So we're going to start off by dragging everything into the timeline. Let's see here. Audio track. And we're going to duplicate this track. This is so that we have a top and bottom screen. This is a picture ripped from Miiverse. I'm going to edit that at the very last moment. This is the camera's audio, and this is audio recorded directly from the Nintendo 3DS. I'm going to mute that for now. I'm going to make this cover the entire video. I'm going to mute the bottom screen for now, and I'm going to add a video effect to the screen template and make it red. So first thing we're going to do is search for the widescreen, go to Event Pan Crop, and start with masking the video footage so that we can only see the top screen of the actual top screen video track. Let's see here, 1 corner, 2, 3, 4, rectangle. And once we have done a rough outline sketch, we're going to zoom in using the scroll bar and make sure it's precisely masked. I gotta make sure that you can move freely once you grab one of the corners. Right, that's the second corner. Third corner. Now you may see that I am making sure that a few pixels aren't within the mask. This is because if you record very bright like me, you get this outline of white pixels because there's just too much light for the camera. Let's see. Now I record my footage upside down, as you can see. So first thing we're going to do in positioning is flip the screen upside down. Get it into... Nope. Hang on a second. Alright, flip it upside down. I made a slight mistake with disabling this in the past. So get it in the middle and zoom in on it. Now you don't have to make sure it's precise and all. Just make a rough outlines sketch. But what's important, what I personally use for reference, is make sure that this bottom of the 3DS top screen is aligned with this line here. This will make editing a little bit easier later on. Of course, I didn't record this perfectly straight, so it's not gonna look perfect in here. Okay, that is enough. By zooming in on the footage, you can turn it around a little bit more precise. So that's the top screen done. Now we're going to unmute the bottom screen, mute the top screen so it's not in the way. We're gonna go mask. Make sure that there is there are keyframes on on the white screen frames, and instead of 4 I'm gonna put 5 in here. This is because the bottom of the bottom screen, wow, what a word, the bottom of the bottom screen is cut out a little bit. This is because the way I record. This doesn't necessarily have to be the same for you, but the process is about the same, I guess. So we're going to repeat what we did with the top screen. Let's see here. And oh, I clicked something that was not right. Hide tangents all. This restores if you've curved the things around. Let's see, I think I messed up a little bit. No, I didn't. That's fine. So first zoom out a little bit so that it fits in here, and flip it around. Let's see here. Now, just like with the top screen, I make sure that this line aligns with the top of the bottom screen. I think it's fine. Alright, close this. Now we're going to unmute the top screen and lower the opacity. About 70% is fine. And now we're going to use track motion. Make sure that you have the same buttons as me, enabled and disabled. We're going to start scaling on Y, which means that we're preventing scaling on X. You know, vertical, horizontal. So track motion is basically stretching up the footage, at least the way I use it, and I try to make sure that the 3ds footage overlaps the template just a little bit. Of course, you're not supposed to do something like this, overshoot it by a lot, but a few pixels, just overlapping it with a few pixels is perfectly fine. Okay, I guess it's about right now. Let's see, did I overshot? Not really. Right, restore the buttons like how they were, and do the exact same for the bottom screen. Let's see here. That one's fine. This is, of course, easier with the white screens for alignment. If you use, for example, a screen like here, where it's a little bit difficult to tell in this corner and up here how you're supposed to align it, so it just becomes difficult. So that's why I use the white screen. A little bit off topic there, but you know, it helps some people. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see. It's fine. Perfectly fine. Now we are going to go over audio syncing. Now, this is the footage recorded with the camera, and this is the audio footage recorded with the 3DS, directly from the 3DS using an audio cable. So basically what we're going to do first is put this all the way on the left and all the way on the right. And someone texts me, hang on. It's my brother's girlfriend. Let's see here. Next. I really can't type on this phone. Next week. Alright, so this is on the left and this is on the right. This is because I'm wearing headphones. And what we're gonna try to do is sync both the audio tracks. And if you play it like this, that you can hear both the left and the right on both tracks, it's gonna be very confusing to tell each track apart. Just listen to it. Now, that was an easy example because it started at the same time, but here it was pretty difficult, so left, right, so that when wearing headphones you only hear it in one ear, so you can separate one from another. So we're going to play it, and after I've identified which one starts first and which one starts last, which I've actually already done, but this is for demonstration purposes, we're going to play it and adjust it. Okay, so the camera footage starts earlier by a mile. So we're going to make a slight cut here and move it up. Let's see. By zooming in, you can check more easily whether they're aligned, but you know, the more you zoom in, the more you'll get small of these very small tracks. Alright. Let's see. I'm not sure if that was in sync. Okay, so I think the 3DS one is a little bit, and she texted again, is a little bit ahead. And now it's perfectly in sync. Perfect. So I'm gonna cut this out, cut this, excuse me, cut this out, cut this out. I didn't mean to press the enter button. Drag this all here. And now that it's in sync, we're going to restore this to the center, and we're going to mute this track. Let's see here. Now we're going to go into color correcting, which is my worst part. But first, let me check my phone. Someone else. Alright. Nothing important right now. Let's see here. We want, for color correction, always a very colorful frame, and because I've color corrected Rainbow Road a couple of dozens of times, to say the least, I know that this frame around here is always pretty colorful. If not, then somewhere around here should do. Or in worst case scenarios, when you just can't find a colorful frame, around here is fine, or here if you're really good at it. I'm just gonna take this, and we're gonna start with white balance, which restores all the colors, so that what I'm going to select with the pointer here is going to actually have the color white. So, whoa, I didn't mean for that to happen. But anyway, it has corrected the colors a little bit. If I do split screen view, you can see the left side of the screen gets no visual effects or color corrections or anything, and the right side of the screen does. So with that, you can easily tell apart what's happening. So I'm going to restore that. And, you know, I got texted again. Let's see. Yeah, nothing important again. Sorry, guys. White balance always overshoots itself. Like, normally it goes up to the 600s, but somewhere around 260 is about fine. It's really about feeling, I guess. Now the next effect I personally add is boost midtones, so that saturation is right. And once again, this preset always overshoots it by quite a bit. I guess 150 is about fine for this footage, considering the light I recorded it in. And now the part I am worst at, color corrector. You need to be pretty darn skilled at this. So I'm going to start with the bright colors, okay. The bright colors look pretty blue up in here. And so blue is this way. I want to add a little bit of yellow. The dark colors especially look dark blue. So I'm going to do the exact opposite of that and add some yellow to it again. Let's see, and everything in between looks somewhat fine. Midtones are pretty much this part of the screen if I look at it now. And I want that to be a little bit more towards red, yellow, or orange if you want to be fancy. The order in which you add video effects is always important. For some reason, I don't know how, honestly, but yeah. That's done with the top screen. I'm not going to add any video effects on the bottom screen. I'm not very good at that. So, now I'm going to separate this track from the rest of the footage. If I delete this track now, this one will be deleted along with it. So now I'm going to press U, delete track, and now this should all be in sync. But you can, as you can see, you can individually move these, which is when you're working with a lot of tracks at the same time. Pokemon Stadium, 13 tracks. That can be quite annoying. So we're going to create another group and create group, and this is basically linking audio to video but with multiple tracks in here. So first I'm going to take the transitions and cut in about the middle of it. So I'm going to enable this track. This is all optional, guys. You don't have to look at this anymore. We're basically done with what is needed. I personally like to add this stuff to my video. Let's see here. Move this up a little bit. Delete this. Press U and then delete this. Alright, so opacity 0, opacity 0. And get a 1 second, 2 seconds transition here. That should do. And then it's going to have a nice fade to it. I'm using too much random accessory memory for this to display correctly. And I guess 2 seconds transition. Fine. That's fine. Alright, so what I personally like to do is just add a little bit more information to the video. Hang on, I haven't removed these video effects. Sometimes that happens. You know, what can you do about it? Okay, remember, this is all optional. You don't have to rip anything from Miiverse for your own. So, I personally take the frame that the timer becomes completely red and is frozen for a few seconds. I drag this in here. Now, I actually have some presets for this to only show the bottom screen. This, as you can see here, but I also have presets for lap 1. There we go. Now, to fade this in nicely, I put a copy of itself right next to it, lower the opacity, and drag it 1 second into it, so that it'll have a nice fade in. There, I hope you could see that. And now we're going to look for the next end of a section. See here, the more you zoom in on the track, the more you're actually going to count on frames. If you zoom out, it's gonna skip ahead with pairs of 5 frames or 3 frames, depending on how far you're zoomed in. So there we go. The frame, it becomes completely covered in red and is frozen. Add this and do preset again. Lap 2. Now I'm going to drag this all the way here and give it a 1 second nice fade. Now as for the last one, I'm going to want to do that about here, I guess. This one, it's really up to you. I'm going to drag it along with the footage that's gonna fade in. And once again, mask, bottom screen, and drag this here. Give it a 1 second nice fade. And now I'm gonna want this to fade out again once the third person replay starts. Well, you can't see it in on the video, but it works nicely. It's gonna work nicely once it's done. So I'm gonna once again take the frame. It becomes covered in red. There. And basically do the exact same thing to the footage. Oh, that's wrong preset. Lap 1. End of section 2. Let's see here. Zoom in to count frames. There we go. It's not entirely sharp. Let's take this frame. Once again, preset, and I forgot to fade into this. Well, I was discovered that, no problem. 1 second, and last 5 seconds. see here, this isn't properly aligned. Alright, cutting out the redundant part. Let's see, where was I? Drag this further, make it a nice fade, and preset, and there we go. It is basically done, but let's see here. Zoom in very far to count frames, and make sure this is 1 frame extended. Press U, extend this by 1 frame. Yeah, this is gonna look nicely once it's all done. I always check whether everything is done correctly. Now, it is very important to do this in the very same order as I do. You can cut the footage and make all these fade-ins very nicely, but if you have already cut the footage but not done any of the color corrections, then you're gonna have to individually color correct this and color correct that, or use a preset for that, which yeah, you could use, but because of circumstance I can make a preset for that. But anyway, how I render, this is gonna be a short part of the video. Customize template, HD 720p, frame width, height, profile. I don't know what this does, frame rate, just leave it to this. Never allow source to adjust frame rate. Always have this on progressive, always have this on 1. I don't know. I just let this I don't know. Render using CPU only. This is because I don't have a graphics card on this PC. Audio, system, project. Always using the best. And no stereoscopic 3D at all. So, that's it. This has been Gyoku7 commentating over Sony Vegas Pro 11 editing. See ya.